Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 68 of Impact Makers. And during the prep for today's episode, we decided to flip the script. So instead of me asking Dustin the question to launch into it, Dustin said, "Hey, I want to ask you a question." So, Dustin, floor is yours.
Absolutely. I don't know if I'm used to this, right?
Been a
so
while.
we talked about how it's mid-November, coming up on Thanksgiving week, and the next how critical the next 45 days are for CPA firms as they look ahead to their January through April busy seasons, whatever area that might be in, right? So what you do the next 45 days can have an impact on the next 4 months. So let's start off on the tax side. Michael, what should tax professionals be thinking about these next 45 days?
Yeah, for these next 45 days, I would say, begin with the end in mind. And what I mean by that is think beyond December 31st and think to the upcoming deadlines that are coming March 15th and April 15th. So look at spreading out the entire busy season by an additional 45 days. And so when you do that, you go beyond just crunching some numbers to come up with some, current tax planning, and you look at what can I do right now that helps bring my client up to speed with what has happened in 2023, also getting them to start casting a gaze on what 2024 looks like, and we start the communication on what does the results on my tax return look like. And so you really can take advantage of the next 45 days and not only bring your client up to speed with what's going on, what you see from your tax brain, right? But you also start that communication so there's no surprises on what's going to happen on March 15th and April 15th, regardless of, is the return going to get completed? Is the return going to get extended? You have 45 days to bring your client into the discussion and get everybody on the same page.
Absolutely. That's a good client service too. We should be doing that.
Yeah. So Dustin, what would you tell the audit side of firms? How should they be taking advantage of these next 45 days?
Yeah, all the firms we worked with from a lean audit perspective, and we when they're looking at their calendar year end audit engagements, this time of year is critical from a planning and interim perspective. And all these firms, you've got milestones and you've got expectations that you're trying to meet here by the end of the year. So internal planning meetings, you should have a lot of those done for your calendar, if not all of them done for your calendar year end engagements. Your planning days or interim work that you want to do, interim testing, field work that you want to do, that needs to be happening, over the next month or so. And ideally, your managers and partners are getting in and starting to review and sign off on the planning. You want to head into January ahead of the game. And so the next 45 days on the audit side, there's a lot of work to be done. Not overwhelming, but just, like we say all the time, invest time to save time. Be a little bit more deliberate about how you spend your days, over the next month and a half to get ahead on jobs. And then you'll save that time in February, March, and April where it can get really compressed. So just spend some time thinking ahead.
Yeah, I mean, so then in conclusion, on whether it's an audit or a tax return engagement, business return, individual return, compilation, review, audit, right? Start with what does success look like in the upcoming busy season, the March deadlines, the April deadlines, and really think what can I invest right now in working on that client that's going to pay dividends later. So again, beginning with the end in mind and leverage investing time to save time.